One eruption buried a city in mud, another blasted a pressure wave around the planet twice. And one was so powerful it cooled the entire Earth by half a degree. These aren't myths or ancient history. This all happened in the last 100 years. Today, we're counting down 20 of the biggest volcanic eruptions of the modern era. The deadliest, the most explosive, and the ones that changed the world. To compare them, we'll refer to something called the VEI, the Volcanic Explosivity Index. It's a scale from 0 to 8, where each number represents a tenfold increase in eruption power. A VEI 3 might coat a city in ash. A VEI 5 can ground planes across continents. And VEI 6, that's when we start talking about climate-changing mega eruptions. For each volcano, we'll tell you when it erupted, how powerful it was, what damage it caused, and why scientists still study it today. And at the end, we'll reveal which eruption was the most destructive of them all. Let's start at the beginning. The countdown begins. První Alaska, USA, VEI 6. The largest eruption of the 20th century, ejecting 30 cubic kilometers of material. No direct deaths, but if it had happened in a populated area today, the damage would be in the range of $5 to $10 billion. It formed the Valley of 10,000 Smokes and left an ash layer across hundreds of miles. 2. Mount Lamington, Papua New Guinea, 1951. Pyroclastic flows devastated local villages, killing over 3,000. Entire communities were destroyed and farmland rendered uninhabitable. In today's value, the economic toll would exceed $1.5 billion, mainly in infrastructure and agricultural losses. 3. Mount Agung, Indonesia, 1963. VEI 5 killed 1,500 plus and displaced over 100,000 people. Ashfall impacted regional air travel and agriculture. Adjusted for inflation, estimated damages topped $2 billion, not including the long-term climate impact from sulfur emissions. 4. Deception Island, Antarctica, 1967 to 1970. Multiple eruptions disrupted British and Chilean research stations. While there was no population loss, the destruction of infrastructure cost millions in today's money. Scientific missions were halted for years, a costly delay for polar research. 5. Mount Arenal, Costa Rica, 1968. VEI 3 killed nearly 90 people and destroyed 2 towns. Lava and pyroclastic flows buried over 15 square kilometers. The economic cost, adjusted to modern currency, was around $100 to $150 million, mostly in lost homes and farmland. 6. Mount Nyiragongo, DR Congo, 1977. One of the fastest lava flows in recorded history, up to 60 kilometers per hour. Hundreds were killed in minutes. Rebuilding and emergency response were severely limited. Modern analysts estimate the disaster's damage at over $200 million, not including ongoing risks from future eruptions. 7. El Chichon, Mexico, 1982. VEI 5, roughly 2,000 dead, 24,000 displaced. Ash and sulfur dioxide clouded the skies. In today's value, direct economic losses were estimated at $2 to $3 billion, with long-term effects on health, water supply, and farming. 8. Nevado del Ruiz, Colombia, 1985. A VEI 3 eruption triggered a glacier melt mud flow that killed 23,000 people in the town of Armero. Entire cities were wiped out. The economic loss? Over $1 billion at the time, equivalent to nearly $3 billion today. 9. Mount Pinatubo, Philippines, 1991. VEI 6, one of the biggest of the 20th century. It caused $700 million in direct damages, but indirect losses, including displacement of 250,000 people, destruction of military bases, and agriculture failure, ballooned to over $10 billion today. The ash even caused the collapse of hundreds of roofs due to weight. 10. Soufrière Hills, Montserrat, 1995 to present. Ongoing eruptions buried the island's capital, destroyed the airport, and rendered over half the island uninhabitable. Over 7,000 people were permanently displaced. Economic damage estimated $1 to $2 billion, with tourism and economy virtually wiped out for decades. 11th, Eyjafjallajökull, Iceland, 2010. VEI 4. Minimal local damage, but the real cost was in the skies. The ash cloud disrupted European air travel for 6 days, causing airlines to lose $1.7 billion, with an estimated $5 billion global economic impact, including lost trade and business. 12th. Mount Merapi, Indonesia, 2010. Over 350 killed, 300,000 displaced. Infrastructure, crops, and villages were wiped out across central Java. Estimated cost, $600 million. Merapi remains one of the most dangerous volcanoes in Southeast Asia due to its proximity to millions of people. 13. Pujehue Cordon Caule, Chile, 2011. VI5 erupted for over a month. Ash reached Argentina and disrupted flights across the southern hemisphere. Livestock losses and air quality issues pushed economic damages past $1 billion, especially in rural Patagonia. 14. Mount Kelud, Indonesia, 2014, exploded without warning, sending ash 30 kilometers high. Over 100,000 evacuated. Ashfall shut down 7 airports and damaged crops. Cleanup and economic disruption cost Indonesia over $500 million. Quince, Calbuco, Chile, 2015, twin eruptions sent shockwaves through the Andes. 6,000 evacuated. Ashfall contaminated water and killed livestock. Estimated costs topped $200 million, with long-term health and agricultural impacts. 16. Mount Fuego, Guatemala, 2018. Pyroclastic flows overwhelmed villages. At least 190 dead, 300 missing, thousands displaced. Damage estimates reach $300 million, with major questions raised about warning systems and disaster response. 17. Anak Krakatoa, Indonesia, 2018. Vi4 triggered an undersea landslide and deadly tsunami, killing over 430. No warning. Damages $170 million. Rebuilding costs, especially on coastlines, were significantly higher. A harsh reminder of the power of volcanic-triggered tsunamis. 18. La Soufrière, St. Lucia Vincent, 2021. Vi 4.2000 evacuated. Ashfall blanketed the island and disrupted life for weeks. Damage to agriculture, water systems, and homes exceeded $100 million. A massive hit for a small island nation. 19th. Hunga Tonga, Hunga Ha'apai, Tonga, 2022. Vi 5-6. The most powerful eruption of the 21st century. It generated a global pressure wave, tsunamis, and atmospheric effects. Damage in Tonga alone exceeded $90 million, or nearly 20% of their entire GDP. Internet and communications were cut off for weeks. 20. Mount Ruang, Indonesia, 2024. Still being studied, but early estimates suggest damage in the hundreds of millions, mainly due to evacuations, ashfall, and canceled flights. The eruption forced over 10,000 people to flee and reminded us that Indonesia remains the world's volcanic hotspot. So, which volcano takes the crown for the worst eruption of the last century? Deadliest. Nevado del Ruiz, 23,000 lives lost in hours. Biggest bang, Novarupta, Vi 6, 30 times bigger than St. Helens. Most disruptive, Eyjafjallajökull, shut down Europe for weeks. Most explosive in modern memory, Hunga Tonga, pressure waves circled the Earth. But the most globally impactful, that goes to Mount Pinatubo, 1991. It changed the planet's temperature, displaced tens of thousands, and reminded us just how powerful and unpredictable nature can be. Which volcano shocked you the most, or did we miss one? Let us know in the comments. Hit subscribe, and if you want to know which volcano scientists fear could be next, click here for our next video.